Hello guys, I decided to record the video anyway because I'm really worried about the strike and you not coming to class, and well, I don't know how this is going to work, but I hope that it helps. Yeah, because once the strike is over, I'm going to continue, and I hope that you understand, the previous units and the contents that we've been seeing during these weeks. I wanted to say thank you to the students that came to class last week, because thanks to them, I was able to record some videos. And I truly hope that once you are back, everyone, we have some time to talk about the strike and your opinions and the relationship, between teacher, student, and between students as well, in terms of opinions and different decisions. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to start. Today we were meant to start Unit 9C. Unit 9C goes hand in hand with Unit 9B. Unit 9B, remember, is about phobias. I had a chance to talk to some of you about fears and phobias. Fears and phobias is a very important topic for quiz 2 and the Suficiencia 1, right? Remember that you take Suficiencia 1 at the end of the semester, which includes contents from English 1, English 2, and English 3. So let's start Unit 9C, that is called Born to Sing. Why is it called Born to Sing? Because we're going to talk about a famous musician and his son. What are the objectives of this unit? By the end of the unit, we should be able to express our opinion on the differences and similarities between parents and their children. Okay, so questions such as, what are the similarities and differences that you've got with your dad? Do you look like your dad physically? Yeah. What are you like? Are you good-tempered? Are you outgoing, like your dad or your mother? We talk about this, right? The second objective is to be able to express completed actions in the past and contrast these to events or situations that are started at an indefinite past and have a relevance in our present. In other words, unfinished events. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the differences between using the present perfect simple and the past simple. Yeah. By the end of Unit 9C, together with Unit 9B, we should be able to be very clear, like crystal clear, about the differences of using one tense and the other. I'm going to introduce this topic today. Okay. And the third objective is to be able to use these structures, of course, in both spoken and written form. So if you look at the screen, we have a very funny photograph, which says like father, like son, like dog, you see. Why are we saying this? Because the three of them, look at them, look at mouths, look at the way in which they sleep, how they sleep. Look at the dog, they're just the same, you see. So the title of the unit is Like Father, Like Son, because it's like the typical saying, you say, oh my God, your son loves or is just as funny as you are, you see, meaning that there are similarities between these two human beings. So the first question that I wanted to ask you is, do you agree with the proverb, like father, like son? And the second question is, are you like your father? Okay, so what I expected was you telling me if you think that is always how can I explain this? It's very difficult to talk to myself, but if you agree with the idea that just by the fact that you are the daughter of someone or the son of someone else, you are similar to this person. So is this always the case? You see, like the saying is like father like son, not like mother like daughter or like mother like son, right? But we can expand and expand the meaning and talk about this as well, right? in my opinion, I mean, if I am honest, I don't think that is always the case. Yeah, I think it depends. We are similar or different from our family or parents, depending on whether we grew up with them, depending on whether we were raised by them, the context, etc. And you know that fathers are not always biological, you see. So there are many factors. I think that genes is one factor. The context is another factor. The way in which you were brought up as well. Yeah. So, and well, personally speaking, I think that I have some similarities to my dad, but well, I don't know if I'm like my dad. Maybe I am. I don't really know. Well, people say so, but I think that I'm 50-50. 50 my mom, I'm 50 my dad. All right, second question that I wanted to ask you is like changing cultures a little bit, because we also have, I mean, sayings in Chile, right? But this is an Irish proverb that I found, and that I found really interesting. And it says like this: what would the cat's son do but kill mice? It's similar to like father, like son, meaning why would the child behave any other way when its parents are like that? Do you believe this is always the case? And this is a very interesting question that I would like you to think about, right? Do you always do you think that we always follow and repeat our parents' patterns and behaviors? I'm going to give you a very extreme example. If my dad is a thief, for example, like a criminal, does that mean that I will be a criminal as well? Can we change some things? Or are we destined to a life or to a future just by being the sons or the daughters of someone else? I think that this is it's not a very easy question to answer, but a very interesting one to answer. Do you think that if our parents, our mom, our dad did something wrong in their lives, we can do something about it? I mean, as children, as their children? Or do you think that we should always, follow the steps of our parents? Okay, so think about it, yeah, and we can discuss it someday in the future. Okay, the next activity has to do with this. You see, I told you that we were going to talk about a famous musician. I don't know if you know him. He is very famous. He's still very famous. His music is still played on radio stations all over the world. And the proverb said, like father, like son. Why? Because we are going to look at a text that is about Bob Marley and his son Ziggy Marley. Okay, so please go to page 72, read the instructions to reading, and in groups or alone at home, do activities A, B, and C. I'm going to give you some time to go to page 72, look at the text, okay? I'm going to pause the recording, and then I'm going to go back to you or come back to you to read the text and discuss some things about pronunciation and vocabulary. Okay, hello again. So I hope that you looked at pages 72 and 73. The text is on these two pages, right? And we have an introduction that says the following. Bob Marley, born in 1945 and sadly died in 1981, is often called the father of reggae because he did more than anybody to make this kind of music popular all over the world. His eldest son, Ziggy, born in 1968, has followed in his father's footsteps and is a very respected reggae musician. So activity letter A on page 72 said, Look at the photos of Bob and Ziggy Marley. Yeah, you've got the photos on the screen. And read the introduction. We did it. Have you heard their music? Do you like it? I'm not a particular fan of reggae, but I know. I think it's relaxing. Yeah, it's relaxing music. I respect Bob Marley for his work, but to be honest, I've never heard Ziggy Marley in my life. Yeah, so this is a good chance to go to Spotify or any other streamer and download or just stream some music. Yeah, buy them. Second activity, B said, read 10 facts about the lives of the two men, Bob and Ziggy, and with your own self, decide which 5 are about Bob Marley and which 5 are about Ziggy Marley. So I'm going to do the following. Yeah, I'm going to read the facts. Yeah, I hope that you have read them had read them before me, so that we can work out some pronunciation things. I'm going to discuss some vocabulary if I think it's necessary, and then I'm going to ask you a question that I would like to answer. Yeah, in your minds, whatever you are now. Okay. So the text and the facts are the following. Number 1 says he and 3 of his brothers and sisters formed a band called the Melody Makers. They played at their father's funeral. So when you look at this piece of information, do you think that this piece of information is about Ziggy or is about Bob? So that is what you have to ask yourselves. The correct answer is Ziggy Marley. Okay, this piece of information has to do with Ziggy. So Ziggy and 3 of his brothers and sisters formed a band called the Melody Makers, and they played at their father's funeral. Okay. Fact number 2. He had 11, look at this, 11 children with several different women. However, he only married one of them, Rita Marley, in 1966. So I guess that you already know that this fact is about Bob Marley. Okay. Well, and we know, we have different facts here. He had 11 children. He married a woman called Rita Marley, you see. And then it says in 1966. I guess that Ziggy Marley is much younger. Yeah. So I think that he wasn't married in 1966. Perhaps he wasn't. When was he born? He was born in 1968. Yeah. He wasn't somewhere else. Fact number 3. It says he, whoever that is, has been a musician since he was 10, when his father bought him his first guitar. This is a difficult one because we don't have dates or years. But the truth is, this is about Ziggy Marley. So the father is Bob Marley. Fact number 4. He has lived in Miami. Pay attention, he has lived. So it means that he started living in Miami and he's still living in Miami. All right. So he has lived in Miami for many years with his wife Orly, another name, and they have 3 children. Pay attention. He has lived in Miami. Can I really say he has lived in Miami if I'm talking about Bob Marley, knowing that he is dead or that, he passed away like many years ago? Not really. So this fact is about Ziggy Marley. Fact number 5. He has won, pay attention, he has won 4 Grammy Awards for his music, including Best Reggae Album. So at the beginning I told you, I have no idea who Ziggy Marley is. Well, now I know that it's Bob Marley's son. So when you think about Grammy Awards, which are very important awards, I thought, the first thought that I had is like, this is about Bob Marley, of course. Bob Marley is a famous one. But pay attention, it says he has won 4 Grammy Awards. Is it really possible to use present perfect with Bob Marley, knowing that he passed away? No. And we're going to discuss why, okay? So if you've got present perfect, or if you're talking about someone, this person is using present perfect, or we refer to the person's life using present perfect, it means that whatever started in the past is still true now. So it means that this person is alive. So this is about Ziggy Marley. Interesting, right? I didn't know that Ziggy Marley was that famous. Fact number 6. He injured his foot. Pay attention to the verb injure. Yeah, when you injure your foot, your leg, your arm, etc., playing soccer. And he later became sick with cancer. He died 4 years later at the age of 36. So we know that Bob Marley was born in 1945 and died in 1981, whereas we only know that Ziggy was born in 1968 and there is no death date, you see. So I think that this is about Bob Marley, well, no doubt about it, right? He died very young at the age of 36. Fact number 7. He was born, pay attention, he was born in a small village in Jamaica. His father was a captain in the British Army. We don't know the year, okay? We don't know the year, so it could be, yeah, Ziggy. It could be Bob, yeah? But the truth is that it's Bob Marley. Okay, Bob Marley was born in a small village in Jamaica, and his father was a captain in the British Army. Fact number 8. He was born in Kingston. Now we have a year, so it's much easier, right? He was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1968, and he was 13 years old when his father died. His father's last words to him were, "Money can't buy you life." Do you agree with that? Do you think that money can't buy us our lives? Interesting. This is, of course, about Ziggy. Yeah? Penultimate fact. His music was very influenced by social problems in his homeland, Jamaica. Now it's interesting that we see past simple, right? His music was very influenced. We're not saying his music has been influenced. So what do you think, Bob Marley or Ziggy? I think it's Bob Marley, right? Bob Marley then. And the last fact says, with his band, the Wailers, he made 11 albums. His most famous songs included No Woman, No Cry, Three Little Birds, and I Shot the Sheriff. You know that these songs are sung by Bob Marley. Yeah, so fact number 10 is about Bob Marley. Now, before I discuss the following point and I introduce the topic of present perfect simple and past simple, I will go back to the tense, right? To the text, I'm sorry. I stopped several times while I was reading and I told you, well, how do we know if this fact is about Bob Marley or about Ziggy Marley? But we had some clues, right? For example, if I think about fact number 6, it says he injured his foot. He later became sick. He died 4 years later. So what's the tense that we use? And pay attention to all the facts about Bob Marley. Everything that has to do with Bob Marley is written using the past simple. Look at fact number 2. He had 11 children. He only married one of them. Fact number 6, he injured, as I said before. Fact number 7, he was born. His father was a captain. Fact number 9, his music was very influenced by social problems. Fact number 10, with his band, he made 11 albums. His most famous song included No Woman, No Cry. But if we look at the facts related to Ziggy Marley, we have a variety of tenses. Look at fact number 1. He formed a band. Okay, past simple. Yeah, they played, past simple. Fact number 3. He has been, present perfect. We have another tense, present perfect. He only married, past simple. Fact number 4. He has lived, present perfect again. And present simple. They have 3 children. You see, so why is this difference in the variety of tenses between Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley. Why do you think is this? Think about it. Why my only possibility is past simple with, or when I'm talking about Bob, but when I'm talking about Ziggy, I can use a variety of tenses. I can use present simple, I can use past simple, I can use present perfect. I may even use conditionals or any tense I want. Why do you think is this? You got it? Yes, it's because Bob Marley is dead. You see, so if I'm talking about someone who is dead, it means that that person doesn't have the possibility to continue doing things in his life, right? I can't say Bob Marley has won. You see, not his music, but he has won 4 Grammy awards so far, because I mean, strictly speaking, he can't continue winning Grammy awards in the future because he's dead. You see, but if I'm talking about Ziggy, I can say, well, up to the year 2020, he has won 4, and maybe he may win more in the future. You see, let's change this the character. Let's change the musician or the person. What if I'm talking about Einstein? What if I'm talking about Tesla? What if I'm talking about Turing? Yeah, can I say like Turing has had, which is like, well, it's not true, but can I say Turing has had a wonderful life? Or he has had a terrible life? I can't, because Turing is dead, you see. He died many years ago. But I can say Turing had a terrible life. He had many problems because of being a homosexual person in times where homosexuality was banned in the UK. You see how it changes? If I'm talking about me, for example, if I'm talking about you, you can use any tense because we are alive. Thanks God. You see, it's like, I live, I was born, I had, I don't know, a boyfriend, I am married, I am single, I would like to do many things in my future because the opportunities are open for us, you see. But if you're talking about someone who is already dead, you can't, and you use the past simple. Now, a different thing is we are talking about the work. Yeah, if I'm talking about Bob Marley's music, that's another story. Okay, I can say, well, his music is still played. You see, his music is very influential. You see, because I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about the music. You got it? So I'm going to introduce the next topic that has to do with the differences between the present perfect simple and the past simple. Look at the screen. We met in the summer. So the story goes like this. We met in the summer and we've been together for years. You see? So in this sentence, we have past and we have present perfect. When we want to talk about life experiences and events in our life, there are 2 tenses we often use. We can use the present perfect and the past simple. The question is, how do you decide which one to use? Let's look at the following situations and see how they affect the choice between one tense and the other. Life experiences. Recent past actions that are important now. Past situations that are still happening now. How long, for, and since. Just, already, and yet. Completed actions in the past. I'm going to talk about the information that has a red asterisk. Why? Because when we talk about life experiences, past situations that are still happening now, how long, for, and since, and completed actions in the past, those have to do with the use of the present perfect simple and the past simple tense. Recent past actions that are important now, just, already, and yet, we're going to discuss about this in level 4, so you need to wait. Okay, so remember the first situation had to do with life experiences. Okay, had to do with life experiences. So let's talk about life experiences. When we talk about a life experience, we can use the present perfect. Yeah, we don't say when the experience happened. Remember, previous unit, we talked about the present perfect. Present perfect is not interested in the when. The present perfect is interested in the experience, period of time from the past up until now. You see? So we don't say when, okay? We cannot use the question when with the present perfect, yeah, mind you. So we don't say when the experience happened because we are more interested in the experience than the time or the date. Look at the following examples. My wife has seen all the Avengers movies. If you want to say when, yeah, the experience happened, then you switch to the past simple. Can you see the difference? She watched the newest Marvel movie last week. And past simple is usually followed or accompanied by expressions of time, such as ago, such as yesterday, such as last week, last year, in 1999, etc. Whereas the present perfect, present perfect doesn't have expressions of time like these ones. You see, with the present perfect, we use other expressions of time. You see? So first sentence, I'm talking about an experience. I'm not interested in the when. But if I want to ask when she saw all these movies, I switch to the past simple. We often use the present perfect with the words ever and never. Pay attention. Have you ever fallen in love? Imagine that I'm asking you, you know, that you're very young, you are living your lives to the fullest, and I ask you, well, have you ever fallen in love? Since, I don't know, you were 10 or even 3, Maybe you fell in love with someone when you were 3 years old, right? So have you ever fallen in love? And you say, oh, no, sadly, I've never been in love. But you use the present perfect because the door is open. You might fall in love in the future. You see, you are still alive. Life continues. You see, that is why I use the present perfect and not the past. If I say I never fell in love, it's like you're closing the door. It says, no, I never fell in love, and I'm not going to fall in love in the future. You see? Which is also an option, but do not be like that. Always be open to love. We can answer these questions with, of course, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. If we want to say how many times we have done something, we can use the present perfect, or we can add a past simple sentence with an expression of time or place. Let's look at the examples. Have you ever fallen in love? Yes, I have. You see, experience in your life. Have you ever fallen in love? Oh, yes, I have. And then you want to talk about the times, you see, you want to be specific, see, about these past events. And if you want to be specific about the when, or if you want to be specific about these events in time, if you want to be specific about these situations in the past, you switch to the past simple. You can't continue using the present perfect. You switch to the past simple. And you say something like, well, the truth is that I have fallen in love. I fell in love twice with different women when I was in Japan. Imagine this guy, or this woman, I don't know, is saying this, you see? And she or he, is talking about this specific experience she or he had in Japan. You see? You see the change in tense? Second situation, past situations that are still happening now. We use the present perfect for situations that started in the past. Remember, Unit 9b, situations that started in the past and are still happening now. What does this mean? Look at the examples. I haven't seen my husband this morning. Okay, imagine that, I look at the cell phone and it's 11:30, still morning. So someone asked me, I don't know, Amber, have you seen John? I say, well, no, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him today. I haven't seen him this morning because it's still 11:30. Now, the period of time is not finished, so I can use the present perfect. But what if now it's 10 p.m.? Okay, so, well, have you seen, can I say, have you seen John this morning? Not really. Did you see John this morning? Because it's not morning anymore, it's night. Got it? We use the past simple for situations that started and finished in the past. For example, I didn't see my husband this morning. You see, it is this afternoon or evening now. So if the period of time is still open, you can use present perfect. If the period of time is finished, you can't, and you switch to the past simple. Yeah? So if I'm talking about my childhood, present perfect or past simple? Past simple, right? If I'm talking about my experience working at Botef, past simple or present perfect? My experience working at Botef, or your experience studying at Botef, present perfect, because the experience is open. I still work, you see, at Botef, and you still study at Botef, so it's present perfect. Yeah. What if you ask me about a relationship I had when I was 20? I'm not 20 anymore. I wish I was 20, but I'm not, you see? Past simple, you see? What if I'm talking about, or what if I ask you about your experiences traveling around the world or around Chile? Present perfect, because you can still visit new places in the future. You see the differences? Let's continue. Third situation, yeah, I'm going to go back to Unit 9b, remember, where we discussed the use of the present perfect with how long and the words for and since. Pay attention to the pronunciation, since, okay? As I said in Unit 9b, we sometimes use the present perfect to ask questions with how long. Now, remember, what's the key difference between asking a question with how long in the present perfect and in the past simple? Is that if I ask a question with how long using the present perfect, the period of time started at some point in the past. I'm not interested in the when, but the period of time is open. You see, how long have you studied at Butcher? Period of time is open. I'm not asking you when you started studying. Yeah, I'm asking you about the period of time, open. But if you ask me about the period of time I studied at Universidad de Chile, I'm no longer a student at Universidad de Chile. You see, I study at another university or in another university. So my period of time is open or closed. It's closed. So if you ask how long with the past simple, the period of time finished, started and finished in the past. If I ask how long with the present perfect, my period of time started and hasn't finished. You see, that's the difference. So look at the examples. How long have you lived with your boyfriend? Question for you. If I ask with the present perfect, then I understand that this person still lives with his or her boyfriend. You see? That is why I'm asking with present perfect and not past simple. We talk about how long with the words for, meaning throughout a period of time, and since, meaning from a point of time to now. This can be a date or a past simple phrase. We discussed this in Unit 9b, okay? So try to check, and go through the material again for Unit 9b, okay? So that you are clear about the use of for and since. Examples, we have lived together for 3 years, you see, period of time. We've been in a relationship since 2002 or 2002, you see, since point in time. I've known him since we were children, point in time, All these sentences are using the present perfect because the periods of time are open, you see. We have lived together. Do they live together? Yes. We've been in a relationship. Are they in a relationship? Yes. I've known him since we were children. Do they know each other up until now? Of course, it's a yes. Now, on the other hand, as I said before, for completed events, we ask how long questions with the past simple. It means that the period is over. How long did you live with your ex-husband? Ex-husband, I no longer live with him. I use the past simple. We lived together for about 6 years. I moved out when I found out he was cheating. You see? Are they together? Nope. So back to the past simple, not present perfect. And I think this is the last situation. It says completed actions in the past. We usually use the past simple to talk about completed past actions. We often include a time reference in these sentences. Examples. I met my wife on the 3rd of July 1990 and we got married in May. You see, I met my wife. We have a specific date in the past. You see, specific events, completed action in the past. No, I can't use the present perfect. I can only use the past simple. We went on holiday 3 times together in 1997. 3 different times in 1997. Are we 1997? Nope. So past simple. We celebrated our 14th anniversary last August. Yeah, last August. Today is, what month is it? November, you see? So past simple. Our close friends moved to France 3 months ago. Completed action in the past, so my only option is the simple past. And I'm going to finish with this. Yeah, it says present perfect or past simple. And this is the question that I wanted to answer. Yeah, probably today or tomorrow during the weekend. Yes, and I really like images. I really like timelines. I've said this thousands of times before because I think that this is a very clear image, yeah, of the tense. So look at the timeline. This is the timeline that represents the present perfect. See, we have our present, the past, the future. See, activities that started in the past. We don't know when because we are not interested in the when. We are interested in the result. You see, the activity continues up to the present. For example, I have been married for 10 years. You see, for 10 years. The activity or the event is still true. I'm still married. But if I say I was married for 10 years, what do you understand? You understand that I got divorced or that I am no longer married. So you use the past simple because the something happened at a specific time in the past. You see, I was in Paris yesterday versus I have been to Paris at some point in my life. What's the difference? I was in Paris, a specific event, completed action in the past. I went to Paris, I came back from Paris. But when you say I've been to Paris, the focus of attention is not on the when, the focus of attention is on your experience, you see? Have you ever been to France? Have you ever visited Paris? Oh, yes, I have. Am I interested in the when? No, I'm interested in your experience. Yeah. So that's the difference, yeah, between the present perfect simple and the past simple. In a nutshell, of course, there are more things that we need to discuss. I'm not going to play the video now. Yeah, I'm going to play it next week. I'm crossing fingers that you're coming back to class. But if you aren't, I will try to explain the video next class, or simply I will upload the presentation so that you can watch it, yeah, at home. Then we're going to do some exercises, yeah, trying to see if you understood the differences between the present perfect simple and the past simple. I want to show you this. And some other written exercises. And of course, my intention is that you use this in speaking. You see, remember that the objective of this unit is to be able to use the present perfect simple and the past simple like confidently, both in written and in oral forms. Okay, so I really hope that I will see you next week. Have a lovely weekend. Before I end the meeting, I would like to show you my cursos. Remember, guys, I can't ask you now if you see my cursos. Yeah, I really hope that you are able to see it now. Remember that in Material Docente, yes, you have a document that is called Acuerdo Ético Área de Idiomas, plus Instrucciones Iconotest. I'm going to switch to Spanish now. Recuerden que esto tienen que leerlo sí o sí, esto tiene que ver con las instrucciones para la prueba y tiene que ver con el acuerdo que hay entre ustedes y yo para que sean lo más honestos posible en la evaluación. Ya no se engañen, no copien, hagan lo que saben con lo que saben, porque así también tenemos herramientas para saber si tengo que hacer algún cambio, si necesitan más apoyo en ciertas áreas y para que podamos hacer algo en conjunto en lo que queda de semestre. ¿Ya? Así que traten de leerlo. No traten, leerlo. Y recuerden que tienen en la sección Mock Tests and Video Assessment Guidelines el sample quiz. Si tienen cualquier pregunta respecto al sample, todavía hay tiempo. Yo me voy a conectar el lunes como siempre, ¿ya? Así que ustedes me preguntan en esa clase. Les voy a dejar un mensajito en el foro para que todos sepan que esta clase quedó grabada. Ojalá les pueda servir. Decidí grabarla porque, bueno, un alumno me preguntó si había clase del lunes y no hubo porque nadie vino. Entonces me sentí un poco incómoda grabando sola. Pero la verdad es que han pasado tantos días y como estoy de verdad, honestamente preocupada por el paro, decidí hacer esta grabación para que la tengan y les ayude de alguna manera. ¿Ya? No es la gracia es poder interactuar con ustedes. Me siento muy sola, tendré que interactuar, no sé, crearme un amigo imaginario, no sé, Mr. Ball, yeah, or Mr. Squirrel, can I talk to you? Or I can teach the class with my dog, yeah, a ver, Gaspar? No, he doesn't want to. Eso, traten de ver el material, traten de ponerse al día. Recuerden que la prueba va a estar habilitada desde el lunes a las 1:30, ¿ya? Hasta el miércoles a las 1:30, ¿ya? Lean las instrucciones y por favor, cualquier cosa, únanse el lunes, ¿ya? Aunque no se queden, tal como se unieron para avisarme que iban a respetar el paro, únanse para decirme o para resolver preguntas. Respetémonos y si alguien se une a la clase, eso no tiene nada que ver con otras cosas, ¿ya? Así que no a la funa, se lo digo, porque ha estado un tema, ha pasado en otros cursos y yo espero que no pase en ninguno de los míos, porque quiero que estemos en un ambiente de respeto, ¿ya? Así que eso, cuídense el fin de semana, estudien harto para el test y bye bye, have a lovely weekend.